Hello everyone and happy March. For today's video, I'm going to be giving an update on all of my finances for February 2025. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Layla. These videos tend to be a bit longer just because I'm going through all of my spending. I share my savings numbers, I share my investments, my net worth, all the things, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. First thing to talk through would be my goals for the month, which I did not set any specific goals for February. However, I did remind myself of my quarterly goals, so quarter one goals. So my first goal for quarter one is to make at least $20,000 in business revenue. As of right now, I'm about halfway to that number, so a little bit behind there. I will give the exact number so far this year in just a moment. So if I want to reach this goal, I need to make at least $10,000 in the month of March. Is that possible? Yes. Am I expecting it to happen? No, but I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. I am still hopeful that it could happen, and who knows? Either way, I'm still pretty content with my earnings and definitely happy with my earnings for February. I'll talk about that number in just a bit. Second goal is to put at least $2,000 to my 2025 Roth IRA this quarter. So far, I've put in $265, so quite a bit behind there. Also, there always seems to be some confusion around my Roth IRA. People always think I'm talking about 2024. So I've already maxed out 2024. I did that like on January 3rd of 2024 because I was able to save for that back in 2023. And that's something that I would prefer to be able to do every single year. So come January 1st, just max it out for the year, lump sum it, and let it do what it does, But I have not been able to do that this year because I was not able to save that up in 2024. And then since I'm fully self-employed, it's just been a little bit slower income-wise. And not that anything is like bad income-wise, but it's just that I don't have, $7K to throw at my Roth IRA right now. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because I'm always seeing comments like, you have until April 15th to max out your Roth IRA, but I'm already done with 2024. So whenever I'm talking about my Roth IRA, it's for 2025. But anyways, in February, I did add $250 to my Roth IRA, so that's better than nothing. And I'm hoping that in March, I can add the remaining like $1,700 or so, but I don't know yet. And then my final goal for quarter one is to reach a net worth of $125,000. Of course, toward the end of February, the market dropped, which is fine. I don't really care. This is a goal that I don't put, a huge stress on just because I can't control it. The bulk of my assets are invested. So if the market drops, then I will also see a decrease in my net worth. My investments dropped, also my savings dropped. So I'll go through all those numbers. And so yeah, spoiler alert, my net worth overall actually decreased compared to January, but maybe for March, it will go back up. It just always seems to go down toward the end of the month and then it like picks back up. So I don't really know what to expect, but at least I'm pretty close. So we'll go over that number too. So with that, let's go ahead and hop to my spreadsheets. I'm gonna go through all of my spending for the month. If you are interested in this spreadsheet and a couple of other spreadsheet templates that are very similar to it, you can get this for free. I have the link in my description box, and then you'll have to enter in your name and your email address, and then it will come to you. You will be prompted to make a copy, and then you will have it on your drive, and you can make changes as you please. And then I do have a number of Google Sheets templates available for purchase on my Etsy shop. That is also always linked in my description box. Now, my spreadsheet might look a little bit different compared to other people because I am self-employed. So this top part is for the business side of things, and then down here, this is the personal side of things. Another question that I also get pretty frequently is, what is your business? And this is my business. So YouTube, content creation, I'm also a financial coach. And then from those things, I receive like affiliate sales, sponsorships. I'll actually show you the breakdown of my earnings in this video. So yeah, this is my business. So as for business revenue, I was expecting to make at least $4,000, but happy to say that I made over $5,000. That came to $5,340.53. As of 2025, I am no longer filming my income report videos where I break down all of my earnings, but you still get them here. That's what this is off to the right. So if you're interested in how I made my money from my business this month, that is broken down there, and it will be up there as I go through everything else. The only thing I'll say about this is that you can see a big decrease, not a huge decrease. I mean, this is still a good number from YouTube revenue, but in January, I made over $3,000 from YouTube and then saw a pretty big decrease after that. But I did see a big increase again for February. So March is going to be the most I've ever made, which is very exciting. But of course, we'll save that for March. So yeah, if you're interested in the breakdown, that's where it came from. Rollover business revenue. So this is just money that was left over in my business checking account that rolled over from January. I was expecting $1,000, but that actually was $486.98. I did take, I think I took more of a distribution in the month. I think I'll go through that. And then I had like some outstanding charges on my business credit card, so I had to pay for that, which is why it was lower than I expected it to be, but not a huge problem. All right, so let's go through my business expenses. Payroll, $2,500, that is correct. That's what I pay myself as the employee. 401k match, I match about 4%. It's a safe harbor 401k, so that is $100. Payroll taxes, $273.76 is correct. For distribution, I budgeted $1,000. That's just transferring money from my business checking account to my personal checking account to pay for any personal purchases. I budgeted $1,000. Did I already say that? I think I did, but that actually was $750. So I think I took a larger distribution in January. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, I took less in February just because it wasn't really necessary. So as I go through my spending, you'll see why that is. And then actual business expenses, I budgeted $700, and that was actually $440.87. I made room here for my annual Georgia registration, which was supposed to be like $300, but I did not pay for that in February. I have until the end of March, so I actually paid that. And it's actually much cheaper than $300. I don't know, it was weird. So I paid that today, and it was $55 instead of $300, which is good. I don't know what the difference, I should be good. I'm not gonna go into detail. But yeah, happy to save there, not spend as much. And then insurance, I budgeted $202.33, and that is correct. That covers my, I don't know why this is always red. I need to fix that. That covers my health insurance and then my dental insurance. Both I have through the marketplace. And I do take a tax credit, which is why this is pretty low. So I pay about $190 or so for my health insurance, but without that tax credit, I would be paying over $400. Then I did add in one other expense here, and that would be savings. So business sinking fund I put up here because it's related to the business. Didn't budget anything there, but I did receive some direct support in the month of February. I made a video talking about these transfers I made. So that was $45. Shout out again to Mark for 15 of that. Eric for 10 or 15. I know that I had like maybe some rollover money, but he at least supported me 2 times. John D, he gave me $5, and then Miriam K, she gave me $10. So thank you to y'all. I am putting that toward my business sinking fund so that I can prepare for my $1,000 giveaway, which will be announced in May. So that's everything for the business side. You can see I had quite a bit roll over into March, which is accurate. That I had a pretty large chunk that was left over in my business checking account, and I'm working on building that. It's just going to take some time. Okay, so now down to the personal side of things. So that payroll comes to me. My paychecks come to $2,500, my gross paychecks. And then the distribution I said was $750. So extra income outside of my business, I made $646.67. So that is broken down off to the right here. Quite a few things going on, mostly cash back from credit cards, a few referrals in there. Thank you all so much if you use my link. I really, really appreciate it. Rakuten, my Marcus by Goldman Sachs high yield savings account interest is included in here. And technically I don't really use that money for anything. Like you're not gonna see it as expenses in these like line items. That just stays in the savings account. So like basically 105 of this doesn't really count as extra income. It stays there. Hopefully that makes sense. And then I did pull from my sinking funds, $629. That was from 2 separate sinking funds, and I'll explain that as I go through everything. Okay, so expenses, first up would be my taxes. These are just what I pay on my paychecks, $466.50. My 401k, that I contribute 5%, $125. My Roth IRA, I did contribute $250, which is exciting. I did that toward the end of the month. I think it was like second to last day of February. My brokerage account, I did not add anything there. I did not add anything to my emergency fund. Didn't add anything to my gift sinking fund. Did not add anything to my car maintenance sinking fund, but I did add $125 to my car insurance sinking fund because that's a must-have for me. For donating, I budgeted $0, but I did end up donating $100. This was all to an animal rescue. There was a dog I saw, it was on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I have to help. It was so sad. And I feel like I made more money than I was expecting to this month. And I also feel like I spent less money. So I just had, you know, some free cash, I suppose. And I was like, I want to donate this. So I was happy to be able to do that. And yeah, always like I would say 9.9 times out of 10, if I'm donating, it's to a animal rescue. Next, for house and utilities, I was expecting about $1,262 if I round that up. And typically I would always round it up, but that actually was $1,292. And this was higher because I think our water bill came in higher than I had budgeted here. So yeah, that was my half of it, was like $30 more than I expected it to. And by the way, this money goes to my boyfriend. He owns this house that I live in. So I pay 40% of the mortgage and then 50% of all of our bills, including HOA, Wi-Fi, home security, water, gas, electric. In February, the electric bill was super high, about $418. Luckily, that's the highest it got, and it has been decreasing because it's been getting warmer, and obviously the heat has been used less. We actually had a couple of people come out to give us quotes for, you know, insulating the attic because we thought there was something wrong with that. But they told us that it was not an issue. The insulation looked fine and that it probably wouldn't help if we added it in. Very grateful that they were honest about that. So what we started doing was increasing the heat downstairs, so putting it at like 72, and then decreasing the heat upstairs, so putting it at like 68. So since heat rises, that did seem to help. And then in the evenings, like when we go to bed, we lower everything. So downstairs we put at 68, and then upstairs we put at 65. So that seems to help. And then obviously it's been warming up, so it just hasn't kicked on as much. Household, I budgeted $175. That was actually $171.27. Did I break down what this was? I did not. I was under budget there. What did I pay for? $121. I bought a couple of things for the kitchen. So I know that I got some glass containers for like my meal prep. I got some wooden utensils. I don't remember what the other things were, just small things probably. But yeah, definitely glad to come under budget. I know I had budgeted more because I wanted to buy this like mirror storage thing, and I didn't end up buying that. I still may buy it, but it's not like top priority, so it's something I'm just still thinking about. Next, groceries, I budgeted $375. That came to much more, so I spent $437.16, $62 over budget. I guess that's not awful. I did buy 3 bags of protein, which will last me about 3 months, so that's good. I know because of that purchase that didn't help. That was a lot of money. And then I did end up doing a small grocery trip on the last day of February, even though it was like I was out in that location. It was a Sprouts that I went to specifically, and there were just a few things that I picked up, so that added on to it. And yeah, that's why I kind of increased my budget. It's back to $400 per month for groceries, just because things are getting a bit more pricey, and I feel like I've been going over budget here and there. So yeah, not too bad though overall. And then food out, I budgeted $30. I actually spent $55.95. So I didn't write it here, but I reloaded my Starbucks card. I added $15 to that. And then I also got some pizza. And I honestly thought I had budgeted $75. I was thinking of March. I got the pizza on the last day of February as well. I was like, oh, I'm right under budget, you know, like I'm good. I'll be in budget and all of that. But I was thinking of March, so I forgot that I had budgeted 30. Not a huge deal. I feel like I got a couple of meals out of the food that I bought, and even was able to give some to Sebastian. So yeah, not upset about it. Nothing crazy. Then gas for my car, I budgeted $65. That was $34.95. So I only filled up once. Health and beauty, I budgeted $175. Of course, this was over $200.76. I had to pay for a copay. Unfortunately, the referral, it's so annoying having an HMO plan. I went to a specialist doctor. The referral didn't work properly because the doctor that referred me was not in network. So it's so dumb to me. I'm not going to complain about it. I'll just kind of leave it at that. But because of that, I had to pay self-pay, Luckily, that was only $63 because I'm an established patient with that doctor, and my copay would have been $50. So nothing crazy, but yeah, basically I'm not gonna get that money back because the referral didn't work. Then I did get my monthly massage. I wrote this down, but I did end up returning this. The Hydro Flask lid, I returned that. So I took that out. I did buy a vitamin or two, and then I picked up a couple of prescriptions. So yeah, nothing too bad. Dogs, I budgeted $235. That was actually $243. And why did this go? Oh, because I got my foster dog treats. So that's what made it go over budget. Netflix is $26.98. Gym membership, $39.99. Fun and entertainment, I budgeted $142. That was actually $122. So I was expecting to pay some extra for date night. Did not have to, just because I had the supplies for what we did. And then I paid for the Yankees game that we're going to in July. My sister had paid for all of that, so I just sent that to her, $122 for mine. And then I paid for, that comes down to gifts. So I budgeted $244 for gifts because paying for my dad's ticket / my stepmom's ticket, my sister and I are splitting that. And then I also paid for Sebastian's ticket because I was like, you're coming with us. I believe this was higher though. So I actually spent $294 on gifts. So yes, I did pay for the $244 for the Yankees tickets to cover that. And I had pulled $244 from my gift sinking fund. I then also sent $50 to Rachel Hickey, and many of y'all watch Rachel Hickey. If you don't, definitely recommend to go subscribe to her. But yeah, in the past I would have counted that as a donation, but I feel it's more so a gift. So I counted it under gift, and that was $50. And then final thing here that I did not budget for was travel. And that came to $384.26. During the summer, my boyfriend and I are going to a destination wedding. It's going to be in Punta Cana, so paid for that flight. And luckily, I had $800 plus of credit through Chase, cash back. We booked the flights. I was able to use all of that, the 800 plus, and then we split the remainder. So this was my half, and then Sebastian sent me the other half. And that's where the rest of the sinking funds come in, because I pulled $385 from my travel sinking fund to cover that. So that's how my spending looked for February. Final little summary. Now we're gonna hop to my annual tracker and look at my savings, my investments, my net worth. Okay, we're gonna start with my savings. These are all in Marcus by Goldman Sachs. That's my high yield savings account. And yes, they're all separated. Marcus allows you to create multiple accounts under one login, so you can keep them separated. They all earn the same interest. I have my referral link down below. All right, so first up, taxes. I haven't been adding to that, which actually it's worked out fine. I filed my taxes yesterday and all is looking great. Okay, so that came to $44.17, so just some interest was gained there. Emergency fund, I didn't add anything to it, but $13,732.47. My gift sinking fund, I did pull from, so that decreased. It's now at $907.98. Travel sinking fund also decreased since I pulled a little bit from it, $5,931.31. Car maintenance, that's at $3,563.48. Car insurance, $396.99. Insurance savings, $2,568.68. So this insurance savings is for that tax credit that I was talking about in case I have to pay it back. Luckily, I don't have to pay that back. I was fine for 2024. Like I said, I filed my taxes yesterday. I'm getting a little bit back from federal. I owe a little bit for state, but I overall am going to be coming out $98 positive, basically. I think for now, though, I am going to leave that money there in case I need it for next year, because I am also continuing to take that tax credit for all of 2025. So we'll see. Otherwise, it's just going to act as general savings, or if I need it for health expenses, emergency fund, yeah, it's just chilling there. And then my business sinking fund, I added a little bit to, as y'all saw. So altogether, that's at $1,086.65. Total here, $28,231.73. And I don't think I said this, but all of these numbers I recorded after the interest came through on the last day of the month. Now my investments. So first up would be my Roth IRA. Everything decreased. So that decreased by 3.3%. It's at $39,432.88. My 401k decreased by 3.7%. It's at $40,635.58. My brokerage account with Vanguard, that is down 2.1%. It's at $10,739.58. So altogether saw a decrease of 3.4%. My investments total $90,808.04. So yeah, it's a bit of a bummer to see that drop, but at the same time, I don't really care because that means if I am investing, I'm shopping on sale or investing on sale, I should say. And this is money that I won't be touching for many, many years, you know? So it doesn't really matter to me. It's not like fun to see it, but it doesn't bother me. Like I'm not gonna pull anything out, not gonna freak out, just going to keep on buying when I can. And that's gonna be first focused on my Roth IRA. Between my savings and my investments, I have about $119,040 if we round that up. And then before we go down to my net worth in the yellow section, I do not include this tax savings in my net worth. It's nothing crazy anyway. I do not count the value of my car or any of my possessions, just personal preference. I don't have a mortgage, don't have a house like with equity in it or anything like that. The only thing I do add in is the balance in my personal checking account and then my business checking account. So that is this number here all together, and I don't have any debt. So my net worth is $121,613.11. So yeah, as you can see, that is a decrease compared to January, a pretty big decrease at that. But who knows, maybe by March it's gonna get past that 125K mark, which is my goal for the quarter. But if not, that's okay. I'm still pretty happy with this. Here's my graph so far for 2025. So a little bit of a decrease. This drops down to 0 just because I don't have those numbers logged, of course. And then from all of 2021 through February 2025, it's what things are looking like. I love looking at this. I think it's just so cool. So way back in the negatives, back in January of 2021, now we're at 121K. Final sheet for me to go through would be my goal tracker. These are all the goals that I set for 2025. If you're interested in the spreadsheet, I do have it available for purchase on my Etsy shop. So first of all, I would like to max out my Roth IRA. We can do $7,000 for the year of 2025. As I mentioned, I contributed $250 in February, so far only $265, it's okay. So I still need to contribute $6,735 to reach this goal. I would like to reach a net worth of $150,000 or more. I talked about this before, but I don't put too much worth into these goals with the net worth goal because I can't fully control it. So in February, I saw a decrease of $2,584.81 overall. So I am $28,387 away from this. I would like to make $120,000 or more from my business. In February, I made $5,340.53. These are obviously my gross earnings. That's the goal is gross. Even better if it's net, but yeah, I'm happy with 120K gross. So altogether, I've made $10,752, not too bad. And I am $109,248 away from this goal. I would like to have $105,000 or more just in investments. In February, that decreased $3,154.36. So as of now, I have that $90,808 invested, and I am $14,192 away from this goal. I would like to get my emergency fund to $15,000. I did not add anything to my emergency fund aside from the interest that was gained in my high yield savings account. That was $50.71 there. So now it's at $13,732 and I'm $1,268 or so away from hitting this goal. Not a huge priority to me. I'm pretty cool with the $13,700 that's in there. I really don't want to have to pull from it or touch it, you know, but it's just kind of a bonus if I get to the 15K. If I can go beyond that, that would be great. Like 20K this year, wouldn't be opposed to that, but not a goal that's like stressing me out or anything. Outside of my business income, I would like to make $10,000 in extra income. So from selling things, from credit card cash back, from opening checking accounts for bonuses, opening credit cards for bonuses, all of those things. I think it's just kind of something that's fun to work toward. And so in February, I made $646.67 in extra income. So far this year, $1,438, and I'm about $8,500 away from hitting this goal. And I think I can. I feel like every year I make like 8 to 10K in extra income just because it's kind of like a game to me. So, and then final goal for the year is to spend less than $50,000 In February, I spent $3,402.32. This is excluding things like savings, investments, business, all of those things. So it's just actual spending. I feel pretty confident about this, that I should be able to stay under 50K. And obviously February was a bit higher, but still tracking okay. So those are all of my numbers for February. Let me know if y'all have any questions, but otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. It really supports my channel, and I'll see you in my next one.